everything kind of gets it's mostly a variable storage as opposed to actually doing anything other than you literally just give it your variables to store and then you pass them back. So we need a couple of variables. Let's go with integer. We're going to go with I think it's called unit index. Let's see. Save game to slot. So yeah, we need a user index, a slot name, which this part is, according to the documentation and everything I've seen, I looked up quite a bit online. This part is optional. I choose to do it because it gives me a bit of finer control in the long run over what I'm doing. Okay, and this one is save slot name, and that will give me those. And we're going to call this slot 1. And we're going to call the user index 1. There we go. So the part that I had missed was this pin right here. This one. That one. The easiest pin to see. Forgot to plug in the save reference. Just so you know, I can be a total idiot at times. it happens. Um, anyways, so the very first thing we are going to do here is make a print string save just to test this out. Print this. Compile. It's going to start off with the very simple hello, and then we're going to change it. Let's use the backspace key here as our key for testing. That way it's not in the way of anything else. And this is all going to change. We're not going to use an actual key for this unless I decide to use F5 for like quick saves. What we're actually probably going to do is tie it into a UMG that you can call up from like a pause menu or something like that. Okay, so press this. Now this code is a little extensive, so forgive me. I'm going to talk all the way through it, which I know can be very tedious at times, hearing me talk. All right. Now let's see. We are going to do, it is create save game object. Oh wait, I want to do this off of my begin play. And we're actually going to call a custom function for this. Custom event save game state. And we're going to run does save game exist? Okay. And for now, I believe the one we used was slot 1. User index 1. And we'll go ahead and branch that. So this is pretty much just creating an if then. So if the save game exists, we're going to run a different set of functionality. Or, yeah. So, oops. Save game state. Boop. Fine. Create save game object. And there's our save the game. We're going to cast this. And the reason we cast here is because unlike doing a get all actors of class, this is actually not a recognized value. So like in get all actors of class, you're actually getting a actor that is in the world, so it is already of type X, Y, or Z. In this case, it actually needs to cast to check to make sure it is of that type, because it could just be a save game. And then there's, like, let's say you have 4 or 5 different versions of save the game. It's like save the game, save the high score, save blah 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 blah. It needs to check to be sure it knows which one it's looking for. Now we're going to promote that to variable. Save the game. Boom. I think that's really all we want to do with this right now. And we need this portion. And this is going to be our load. So load game from slot. It's going to be slot 1, 1, plug this in. Now, you'll notice that I'm not using the create game again. This is just you load it, you check to make sure that it's this type of game type, and then you save it to the reference. Now, we need to use H. Sure. H will be a print string. Oh, I remember the last thing I was going to do here. It's going to be set print this. So instead of hello, we're just going to print goodbye. Very simple. H is going to be print string, and that string is going to be, oops, print this. So simple, efficient, literally just grab this value right here, plug it into the print string. Okay, last thing we need to do is save game slot. Boom, get. We're going to plug this in right here. So it's a save game object. We've already cast to it, so it's already this. Slot name. User index. Oh, okay. So save game to slot, check the slot name and the slot index. Right here, slot 1, 1. Now the reason I am specifying which one this is right now is because right now, technically, well, I guess this would work. I mean, do that. Oh, right, and I need to set. Need to set the print this value to a different value. That way we can actually tell. Oh wait, no, because this only gets set once. Haha. Right, because I'm a genius. This should work, I think. Probably wrong. Most likely wrong. Okay. This is exactly where I got into trouble last time. I've made sure save game object, slot name, slot index, print goodbye, boom, 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 boom. Okay. So compile, save. Now we're going to go. So if we go in here, we press H. It should say goodbye, right? Yay! Now if we go in, and we don't have that, If we hit H, it prints nothing. But if we hit the backspace, now it says goodbye again, because we actually have loaded our level again. What are you yelling about? Yeah, see, trying to access none from the event graph because technically it doesn't exist at that time, because it is not populated. Now, this is all well and good. This works. This is functional. It's not very helpful. We need this save game state to not just print a string. We actually need it to do very much more. So I'm actually going to save this portion. This creates the save game object, which allows us to do this, our save game. So the next portion that I am going to do is not going to involve this at all. This will stay for now, because that's our test. And this. But I need to figure out if I can make a proper struct with this. So, let me save. I need to keep this open because it's got a lot of information that I'm going to need. Blueprint, structure, player variables. So, most of our stuff is ints. Let me go through, make sure I get everybody that I need. Okay. Strength, finesse. I'm just doing this off to the side. Actually, I'll do it this way. That way you can kind of see what I'm doing. It's really not that interesting, but wisdom, charm. Intellect, wisdom, charm. Oops, not byte, integer. Career. Species. Let's see, what else do I need? I need this one to move up to base stats, integer. Oh. Let's see, spent stat points, stat pool. Okay, that's that. Level, exp,